Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Jobless Weebs 72 already. Yep. Pretty cool. With me today, of course, I'm Brian.
The big Mexican.
Yep. And
you're making things difficult for me.
I am. Oh yes.
Editor is gonna hate you this time.
Probably. Yep. Brian, of course, and Marco. And today we're gonna do our special what we'll be watching for the next season.
Yeah.
Kind of wrap up for this upcoming season and going through the ones that are about to release. So yeah, it's that one again.
It became tradition. It started with us having nothing to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And it's still probably us having nothing to talk about, so we're like, hey, let's talk about the new anime.
Let's do it. Yeah. Great topic.
Yeah, we have a lot of returning ones.
We do.
A lot of wacky ones.
Yeah. A few more isekai.
Yeah, unlike last time, we actually did a bit more research in a few of them. Not all of them. A few of them are based from light novels, games, and sadly they don't have a manga, and I'm not ready to step down the path of light novel. So
I have for the past couple of years, but yeah, it's slow going. I haven't checked out any of the light novels for these ones at least. But yeah, it is pretty.
So yeah, we might have a better input. We're gonna keep spoilers, and if you just want to skip to the anime that we're gonna be talking about, we won't cover all of them because that's impossible. We're just gonna cover the ones that we might consider watching.
Yeah, piques our interests.
Yeah. So, I don't remember who started last time, but I'm gonna start this time. So
yeah,
the first one that I'm waiting for, that I will probably wait until it's complete or like halfway through, it's Vinland Saga Season 2. This is a great anime by Studio Mappa, and it just picks up from where the first season ended with a time skip. There's a time skip of, I don't remember how many years, I think it's like 2 or 5 years, and our protagonist, Thorfinn, he, after trying to attack the prince, so this is not a spoiler because if you already watched the first season, you know what's happened. After trying to attack the prince because he killed his master / target, because his master killed his father, so he was like, oh, I'm gonna join this guy and I'm not gonna rest until I kill him. So there's a lot of drama involved, and in this one it's just the time skip after this has happened, and my prediction is probably gonna take at least the first 6 chapters or so for the time that it has passed, and how his situation is super miserable and he has changed dramatically. You could say for the good or for the bad, but it has changed him dramatically. He's broken. And so yeah, I'm waiting for it. Probably will wait.
Yeah.
And this is based actually on kind of like true events or true historic events from the Nordic, nomads, and in their search for the Vinland. And it was just pretty much, the Nordic people looking for America.
Oh yeah. But basically, yeah.
That's about it. Because they're like live in this icy hell, and they're like, yeah, we want to find a place where it's
better.
It's green everywhere. And like so, it's an interesting one. If you guys like this type of kind of like historic, bellic with fights, a bit of gory, then I recommend you to watch the first season and wait for the second one.
Sweet. Next up, we have the Misfit of Demon King Academy, the second season. So this one is pretty great. Like it's kind of like well, you could say that it's based off the run of the mill. The demon lord reincarnates. He just tries to live in the
garbage
modern
on fire.
era. Exactly. Yeah.
It gave us
take that.
quotes like, "Do you think I could die just by you killing me?" Like,
something of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
strong,
completely defeated Shiro's quote.
Yep, some strong fate vibes right there. Fate in the quotes. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. This one is just those types of shenanigans to the max. He is reincarnated. He has basically all of his powers from back then, and all the magic of the modern era is like weak now. So anything he does is like, whoa, like the reincarnation with that quote. Oh
yeah, that first episode was
scene,
a bit disturbing.
Oh yeah, because it's just like, it shows just the blood and oh man. Well, with the first season, we see kind of like him expanding his friendship with the people that he's meeting, and of course his parents too are still there. Interestingly enough, his parents are alive in an anime, and for the second season, we'll have to keep tuned for all of the stories that happen there. It is based off of a light novel, but there is a manga adaptation. But yeah, we'll continue from where the last season left off. But it'll definitely be fun for anybody who loves the overpowered main character demon lord style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Next one is Ijiranai de Nagatoro-san's Second Attack.
Yeah.
This is the second season of Please Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro. And this anime is perfect for those people that like Usagi-chan, Asobitai, Takagi-san, the Master of Teasing Takagi-san.
Oh yes, that one.
Or like My Senpai is Annoying. It's this kind of like boy girl where one does the teasing and the other gets flustered, and it's kind of like leading towards like a romantic thing, but a lot of things have to happen before the romance actually starts, and it's
a little bit of drama, a little bit of teenager angst, maybe. Yeah.
So it's an interesting one, and kind of like throwing it out there if you didn't know, but the author of Ijiranai de Nagatoro-san, he was previously a doujin artist for like adult doujins.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, you can see that influence in this anime with the
with the
fan
gals.
service and but it's surprisingly it's wholesome at times, and it's and cute. So it's a good watch.
The next one that we'll probably give it a try is Tokyo Revengers Seiya Kessen Hen, or the second season, or let's see here. Actually, we don't know how many episodes it would be, but it is the second season for Tokyo Revengers. It says Christmas Showdown, so it's going to be more of the story with them, of course, but Christmas Showdown does have kind of like a...
Probably they'll just cover one arc.
One arc. That's probably true, yeah. They'll probably do one arc for this one, but yeah, for anybody who liked the first season, here's the second season.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn with that one.
Sure. I'm not sure how it'll be though.
Because Tokyo Revengers has a really huge fan base.
Yeah.
And a few of the fans are like, you don't know what you're talking about. And a few of the fans are like, yeah, this is garbage, but I like it here.
Oh, okay.
And so personally, again, this was like the Shinji type character.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I didn't like, because he knows what he has to do because he's able to leap through time within the same time frame. So and it's always like 10 years apart. So like let's say that his powers work that the moment he touches a certain person, and it's like August 10 of 2022, he's transported to August 10 of 2012. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just him trying to avoid his ex-girlfriend's death. Because apparently someone wants to kill him specifically. And I think that also they want to kill the girlfriend, or sometimes the girlfriend is just caught in the caught in the fire.
Yeah. Oh yes.
But I think he is the target. And last season ended with him. I think he was getting killed or something. I don't quite remember. So it's interesting because you can see the progress of the character, but at the same time, I don't like this character. It just makes me frustrated.
Right, just like the character himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but maybe once it's completed.
Oh, there you go.
Because if I watch it episode by episode, I'm gonna be like, "You idiot!"
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Well, that frustration is understandable. Oh yeah.
All right, the next one, it's Bungo Stray Dogs 4th season. It's been a while since the 3rd season. A few years.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's about kind of like a crime-based anime with some supernatural powers.
Yes.
The main character, I forgot his name, but it's the guy in the middle, and he is possessed by kind of like a tiger spirit, right? And he
can transform into a tiger at times. At first, he had no idea that he could do that, but and he kind of joins this crime group without really knowing very much of anything at all, but they kind of like grow, and
I think it's a police, kind of like
it's a
private police force, or kind of like detective force, right?
Yeah.
And they do have to fight against like a crime
group. Yeah,
and
that's
like from time to time they join forces, which
that's
the dynamic is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because then you're like, okay, they're the bad guys, but once a new bad guy appears, then they have like a common enemy, so they join. So I'm explaining it really badly, but the plot is good. I like the plot. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
And they are unique characters, all of them, which, it's typical of anime. Every character has to have kind of like their own quirk.
Yeah.
Kind of like their special something. One of them is always trying to commit suicide for some reason. Right. Which is not funny, but he makes it look funny.
Yes, he has a funny attitude, but yes, The next one, this is a personal favorite of mine.
I think so. Yeah, it's a fun one.
This one is pure wholesome, very fun. It is the next season of BUFURI. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Of course, with the original title, Itai no wa ya nanode byogyoroku ni kyokufurui shitai to omoimasu. So it's a very long one. So they do that fun thing where they cut it down. Definitely a light novel adaptation, but they cut it down to BUFURI. So this one, we're gonna continue with of course, they're gallivanting around the VR world that they have in this game, and we're gonna see much more of all of their powers and all of their shenanigans and just like pure wholesomeness. They, of course, already have their guild, and she has her flying fortress.
She
And she is a fortress
everyone
itself.
wants to
It's
nerf her, and for
insane.
some reason,
Yeah, they just leave her be
like
though.
they nerf her.
They try. Yeah,
but
they do.
She
But then-
finds, just by coincidence, a way to become OP again.
Yeah. The thing is with this world, this VR world that the developers make, they make it so that you can custom build your character or like gain powers depending on what you do. She like her weird stuff that she decides, she always gets like these stacks and benefits that combine and work together somehow.
Yeah, she
And
has
it
some
always
mecha.
is
She
overpowered.
kind of turned
Yep.
into an angel
She's
that
yep,
nullifies
she-
attacks or something like that.
Yeah, and then
She can
has,
turn
like, a
into freaking
monster form.
Godzilla.
Yeah, that one. Oh my gosh, like literally Godzilla. Oh, it's so weird, and so many other things.
And the best thing is that she,
Yeah.
for all we know, I don't think she know how the game actually works.
Yeah.
She's
That's
like,
the thing. Yeah.
ah, that's interesting.
She's like, I'll do it.
What the heck?
Yeah, seriously, because I think it's her friend Sally that brings her. Well, they have like their in-world names, but they also have their own personal names.
Yeah.
So we do see both of like their own world in the classroom, but most of it is in the VR world. So yeah, Sally like introduces it to her, and Maple is like, okay, she's along for the ride. Literally,
Yeah.
sometimes. Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, it was a fun one. You know,
Yeah, I love it.
That's like
I love it so
the
much.
wholesome and innocent version of the Misfit at Demon Academy.
Yeah,
Because you know, like in the Misfit Demon Academy,
he's
Anos is like,
yeah, he's,
oh, I'm strong. He's like, at least he
knows.
he has the powers to back it up.
yeah.
And Mabel
he
is
knows
like,
it.
I'm okay. Like, we're good. We're friends. And as soon as anyone tried to attack her, she just like insta killed them. He's
Yeah,
he's like,
literally.
oh, I did that. I'm sorry. And like,
yeah, literally, yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. It's
It
a fun
is.
watch. It's
Yeah.
this kind of like hybrid isekai because it's a game.
Yeah, it's a hybrid, kind of a unique one. Very, very fun.
Yeah, the next one, it's Kyoko's Yuri in Spectre Season 2.
Yeah.
This is a wacky one. The characters are definitely wacky too.
Oh,
It had a bunch of memes on the first season,
yeah.
especially like that meme when she is trying to show off to the ex-girlfriend that they're dating. Is like, look how happy he is, and the guy is like, dead inside. Is like,
Oh my gosh.
it's a supernatural one with
Yeah.
yokai,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a familiar
Yeah.
issue type of, because I think that one of the main antagonists is related to the male MC, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's
Yeah.
based from a manga, and I might need to rewatch season 1 again.
Yes, me too. Well, the thing is, they have, of course, all the drama and relationship stuff, but then they do have a lot of the yokai where the plot thickens with the different yokai that they have to like go up against, and yeah, they're pretty unique. So yeah, I'll have to rewatch some of it too. But yeah,
Yeah.
the relationship is really weird. The next one. Okay, we have talked about the video game.
we have
at
an
least,
episode about the video game.
yeah, a little bit. This next one is, of course, the Nier Automata version 1.1a anime for Nier Automata. Oh, this one I'm so excited for. So yeah, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's going to be phenomenal. Like, they have the trailers, or kind of like the teasers, for a few characters now. The character Pascal has the trailer also now, and we see here in the picture, the cover art, Pascal kind of looking towards the audience, and it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, as we mentioned on the episode for Nier Automata, this is going to be an original story.
Yeah.
Probably they're gonna. Since it seems they're using the same characters.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see where they take it, and if they're actually gonna. My thoughts is like they are definitely gonna base it from the original video game, but they're gonna tweak some things.
Oh yes.
Because at the same time,
maybe
like
story.
We mentioned it. It's really hard to adapt a video game for that has like 50 to 1 hour long playing time to like a 24 episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm really hyped for this one. I'm waiting for it. So.
It's so
I will probably watch it sub, dub, English, Spanish, French.
Oh, there you go. French. Oh my. Well, actually, that's a good point because the songs from the games were like kind of like mixed or like inspired by different languages.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the songs themselves are hauntingly beautiful. So
especially the songs, and it's a Studio A1 Pictures. So
yeah.
The bar, it's raised really high just because of the studio.
Yes.
All right, next one, it's Kamitachi ni Iruwatera Otoko Second Season, or By the Grace of the Gods 2. And this is a wholesome isekai.
Yeah.
It was a traditional, the guy overworked himself to that. Because apparently...
That's what happens.
We don't need Truck Kun anymore because we kill ourselves now.
Yeah, in society.
So this guy died from overwork and he was miserable. So 3 gods or 4, I remember. It was more than 3 or 3. They were like, oh, so yeah, we see that your life was crap. So you're going to reincarnate in another world and you're going to reincarnate as a child. So he was not the one that was born, like, like a baby. Mm. He was actually like reincarnated into this 8-year-old and he can control slimes. And it's just the story of how he found some noble people by chance, by helping them. And then he joined them and he starts living in the city and he starts... making his business, and for the most part, it's wholesome. So I think that was like a Saturday or Sunday anime for the first season. So it was a good in the morning, chilling there.
Turn it on.
So it's a cute one. If you like your isekai and your slice of life mixing together, then this is one of the ones for you.
Very nice. Oh. The next one is a long-awaited one.
Yeah.
Tomo-chan wa ano noko, or Tomo-chan, is a girl. Spoiler alert! Surprise, surprise. So this one, it's a really it's based off like a short style way, the storytelling in the manga itself. It's like, I remember reading it, and it's like when I go through, it's like 1-page story offs or something like that.
Yeah,
almost
it's
like a 4-panel, but it's very, very
kind of like
short.
a 4-panel.
Yeah, you could describe it that way.
And the manga, it's finished, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, so it's completed. This is the anime adaptation, and there is a pretty hyped fan base for this one because Tomo-chan and the story itself is just so clever. It's just so it's really emotionally draining but very emotionally charged.
Yeah,
because she is a tomboy. She likes this guy, but she's kind of like coming to grips with that. But this guy, he treats her as one of his dude friends. Yeah, one of his guy friends. So he never gets the hint, or even like looks at her in any interest or any way like that, because Tomo-chan has just always hung out with him as a tomboy.
Yeah, she's like a
just
dude.
like do anything. Yeah. So it's pretty fun struggle.
It's a fun one. It's one of my favorite mangas, actually. When I was reading, like the first episode, and this is gonna happen. Like, and kind of like spoiler alert.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but kind of near the beginning.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Yeah.
She's like, I like you. And he's like, I like you too, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you idiot.
Yeah.
So,
oh, man.
Exactly the story is just how the developments that happen in the story. There are a few other characters, like their parents and her best friend.
Yep, and a couple of other like group friends.
Some delinquents too, that kind of like drive the story a little bit.
Yeah, because there's a bit of drama, bit of like romance, but not quite.
So the manga finish. I hope they adapt all of it, because honestly, it's not like a really long story.
Yeah.
So probably,
and it could be pretty quick.
Yeah, like, probably 12 episodes, not enough. 24 might be overkill.
Yeah, somewhere near there.
Yeah, but
unless they cut out anything. But then again, I mean, it would be nice if they do the whole story and include everything. Yeah,
but yeah, it's a fun one. I'm actually waiting for that one. It's one of the romance ones that I've been wanting to watch for the longest time.
Yes. Oh yes. Same.
The next one I did not have the chance to check that.
Okay. I looked at the manga myself. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So it's called Otonari no Tenshi-sama ni Itsumanika Dame Ningen ni. Okay, or The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten.
Yeah.
So it says, after catching a cold by giving his only umbrella to a girl sitting in the rain, Amani Fujimina only expects her to eventually return it. However, Mahiru Shina, the angel of Amani's school and his neighbor, instead gives him a lot more than that. Instead of just the umbrella, she insists on returning the favor by helping him recover from his cold. However, she is oblivious to the battlefield that it's Amani's apartment. The only word Mahiru finds from her mouth to describe the chaos is unsightly. But despite her unsympathetic description, Mahiru proceeds to help the hopeless Amani. Otonari no Tenshi-sama ni Itsumo nanika dame ningen ni Sareteita Ken follows Amani as he is taken care of by Mahiru, who attends to various chores, from cleaning his apartment to cooking dinner. Is there anything that the angel cannot do? Okay, it's based on a light novel, and the studio is Project Number 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like a it's a slow romance style story. I looked at the manga myself a little bit, and it is kind of like it's a slow burn story type. Mahiru, she is kind of like that school beauty where she always seems not quite aloof, but always kind of out of reach. And so, but she hardly talks to anybody outside of her like friend group. So he and everybody calls her the angel, or like, the angel. So, but she hates that. She doesn't like that being called that, because it seems to be, of course, like them not seeing her for herself. So yeah, it's also one of those where she can be herself around him. He doesn't want to be indebted or involved with her, because it's kind of like, oh, then the school will hate me kind of a thing. So yeah, it's one of those stories. If anybody is a fan for that, definitely give this a try. Kind of a cute romance story.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the next one. Oh, another season for Dungeon ni Die wo motomeru no wa machikateru iru daro ka 4, or the 4th season of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? So, another season of this huge, like, fantasy epic style story where Bell, this guy who's kind of run-of-the-mill adventure, kind of, well, you could call him weak, you could call him of no reputation, but he's in this house. You could call it like a guild house or like an adventurers guild, but in this world, it's where the gods come down to this world and basically lead their own individual houses. So he is like the only one in this particular house. She's Estella? Hestia. That's right. So he's like the only one. He's like her champion since he's the only one. But yeah, it's a pretty cool story. They live in this world where they pretty much live in a dungeon. It's kind of odd, but it's like a whole world in itself.
Yeah, there's a tower.
Yeah.
Like within the city.
Right.
And this tower has different levels.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. So they go into this tower to adventure, basically.
Yeah, but at the same time, like in these later seasons, different enemies have appeared because they thought of monsters as like, they're just beasts. Yeah. But in more recent seasons, these beasts, some of them can communicate. They have developed certain level of intelligence. Yeah. However, they're still seen as beasts, but now they have a higher valor, and there's some houses that are taking advantage of that and doing some shady stuff. And Bell, he is this straight up good guy.
He really is. Yeah.
So when someone tells him, please help, he does it.
He helps.
So he always gets his butt kicked heavily, and I think more and more as the story progresses. But he's the hero. He is the grandson of Zeus. They mentioned that on the first season. They haven't really covered a lot more. Yeah. But I remember one of them, I think it was Hermes or someone, they're like, Zeus, your grandson is something else. And it's like, wait, what? And I don't know why anyone else has wondered about that. Or probably they have, but I haven't dived a lot into the fandom. So, or the light novel, for the matter. So,
for that matter, yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting story. It's a bit cringy.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. But yeah, pretty epic in its story style. The next one is Spy Kyoshitsu, which is excuse me for that, Spy Classroom. This one, I did look at the manga, but there's not a whole lot of chapters, if I remember that correctly. But this story, it's like, think of like Suicide Squad. They are dropouts of their high schools. They're basically gathered to this place to learn how to be spies. And well, that's basically it from the beginning. But then they're given this, I'm not sure why they do this, but they're given this like first task, and kind of a little bit of a spoiler alert, but it is in the first 2 chapters. They go out, but they're informed that it is a suicide mission, so they have to do it, but they will most likely die because it's like a 99% chance of death. So this girl, the main character, let's see, Lily, Yes, Lily. She is kind of like a poison expert. So she does like go along with this, but on one of their excursions, she's with the sensei in a boat and she basically poisons him. But then so yeah, this is a little bit of like this is a little bit ahead of the actual setup, but it's kind of like showing her characteristics though, I think. So she poisons him, but then he's like, hey, I just shackled you to the boat and it's sinking right now. So you better give me the antidote and then I can help save you, like get out of the risk of drowning. But then she's like, oh, I don't have it on me. So they're like, oh crap. And so she just like row all the way back to shore. But then I'll just leave it at that because it is kind of like a suspense and a little bit of like a mystery.
Kind of like treason all the way.
It's treason through and through. It's
Yeah,
spies and missions and yeah. So if you like that kind of a thing, it's supposed to be like a classroom setting, but they do have like missions along the way.
Okay.
So yeah, I think like assassination classroom / Suicide Squad. Maybe.
Okay.
Unless of course anybody further in the actual story or the fandom knows more, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one, it's pretty similar to Nagatoro. So this one is called Kubo-san wa mo wo yusurenai, or Kubo won't let me be invisible. And I've read a few of the chapters in the manga. It's by Studio Pine Jam, based off a manga. And demographic seinen.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
So the setup, it's about Junta Shirashi. The character design is like Tadano-kun, but a bit more simpler than that.
Yeah.
So you know how Tadano-kun was kind of like to make like an average guy? He's below average.
Yeah.
So people ignore him all the time. He has become sort of like a legend from school, saying like, oh, if you spot this guy, legend says that you're gonna have a good day. And so like he has never missed a day of school, but he has low presence and people ignore him easily.
Yeah.
Except for his neighbor, Kubo-san, which is like a beautiful girl. It's just like a teenager ara.
Oh, yes.
Because, you know, like in Usaki-chan, in Nagatoro, like they're still like playful and
high
teasing.
energy.
And her teasing is a bit different because it's more
of a mature
and more inclined towards, I mean, I think all of them are inclined towards that, but but she emphasizes more on that.
Okay.
And it's just her teasing him and him kind of like playing along.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he doesn't want to stand out, but he's
always found by her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just so funny, I think, because how you were describing no one notices him, it's literally that like nobody notices him except for like her and like other certain situations. But it's so funny to see that.
Yeah.
The next one is so I actually haven't looked into this one very much, but I know it's Trigun Stampede. And so this is the next like anime season for this, but not quite like another season, if that makes sense. It's like
is it a reboot?
I want to say it is, but so it also has the title of or it says on the art project Ready Steady Roll. So Trigun, at least of course like the old Trigun that we know, it's this guy who just goes around.
His name is Bash.
Yeah.
Bash the Stampede.
Yeah, that's the Stampede. So his reputation is legendary, but he's kind of like a goofy guy. So wherever he goes, he does just weird stuff, and there's like it's like a Western style.
Yeah.
With 6-shooters and other types of weapons.
The art style is pretty similar to Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Actually, they are around the same time.
They are, yeah.
Of the time when they were
releasing.
Aired.
Yeah,
released. Yeah, they're around the same time. And yeah, Trigun is a classic one.
Yeah, huge.
And the animation, it's great. The character design is great. And again, this is my personal opinion, but I think that this animation doesn't make justice to Trigun.
Okay.
I don't like the
this
animation.
New...
It's like
so
I don't know how hard it's animation. I don't know how to draw.
Right.
So I might not have,
Oh, sure.
authority to say like this is crap, but I don't like it. I don't like the art. It's like, what have you done to my boy?
It looks smoother, if that can be used as like an art style, almost more watercolor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Same, I don't know like
it also looks kind of bright, which for Trigun, bright colors were never a thing. Because even though he's goofy, the story itself, it's pretty dark.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched it before. I have watched it before, and the story, it's super, super messed up. Because in the original Trigun, all the events unfold in a planet that is not Earth, and that's because Earth is gone. So Earth was destroyed, so some people immigrated to another planet, and turns out that one of like the scientists that was immigrating, she found 2 boys. One of them was Trigun.
Okay.
And they are kind of like aliens. And some shenanigans happens that Trigun became a mass murderer.
Okay.
Because he is essentially a weapon. And also is his brother, but his brother is the antagonist of the anime.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing here the same characters because
me too.
Because these 2 characters on top, they're kind of like detectives or police or reporters. I remember exactly what they are on top of my head. But they are looking for Bash.
Yes.
And somehow Bash is always squeezing and getting away. And so they are chasing them. And it's a good story. It's a really sad story.
It is, yeah.
But it's a really good plot in general. So if the story is good, because I wonder if they're trying to adapt a new story, which, I'm always open for new stories.
Yeah.
But if they want to just do the same story, just with different animation, it's like...
right. Well...
No. That's a no.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll take a look at it. But we'll see what happens. It is Studio Orange and releasing next year, so we'll see what happens with it. Oh man. Oh, the Ice Guy.
I want to watch it. I didn't have time to to read.
Okay.
Do you know about this one?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I read a bit of it. So this one we have Kuri Zokusei Danshito Kuna Doryo Joshi, or the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. So this one is a pretty great story of another like workforce romance. So maybe, so it is a romance type of story. It's going to be adapted from studios Liber, Zero G, and it is based off, it does say a web manga.
Okay.
So yeah, I did read the manga adaptation. So this one is a workplace story where there's this girl who this guy, is kind of interested in. She's kind of interested in him, but so the thing is though, the guy has some weird supernatural power or ability where he literally freezes and he makes the temperature in any room that he's in drops. And it's so funny because sometimes he makes little snowmen appear all around, and it's so funny. So, and also it's like when whenever he feels emotional or maybe even like romantic feelings. So it's very, very funny when they get together and that happens. And of course there are other colleagues around him. But yeah, it's a pretty great story. I read a bit of it, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good adaptation for anyone who likes romance and maybe kind of like that workplace type of setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is a treat for all you degenerates out there.
Oh my gosh.
And of course I'm going to be watching it, but...
Of course. Of course.
But for completely different reasons that all the degenerates out there.
Oh, right.
I'm doing this for the podcast, okay?
For the podcast. Okay.
I don't have any ulterior motives whatsoever watching these ones.
Right.
So this one is called Inu ni natara sukina hito ni hirowareta, or My Life as Inukai-san's Dog. And as you can
have
see...
you read the manga? I looked at it?
I started a few... It's like...
okay.
Why am I doing with my life?
Same. I probably felt the same. Yeah.
This is for all the degenerates out there. This is just straight up fan service.
Literally.
As you can see just from the main picture. Literally. It's like... Yeah.
Yep, because the main character is literally a dog.
Yeah, just one day, this dude wakes up as Pochita.
Yep.
The pet of like the most beautiful girl in his class.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything else.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know who you are. You know that you're gonna watch it. So,
yes, like right from the get-go, if you see even if you see just the few first scenes, that's for you.
So yeah, I don't need to explain who would like these ones because you know who you are. You are not a weeblet anymore. You're a degenerate. That's even past better on weebs. So let's move on to the next one.
Ooh, yes. Let's see here. The next one is I don't really know how to pronounce that, but let's see here. Iyo wo kiwameru tame tensei su soshite sekai saikyo no, and continues, but basically the title is in English, Reborn to Master the Blade from Hero King to Extraordinary something. I probably haven't looked into this very much myself.
I haven't either. So
okay, but yeah, I might give it a try, but it's basically the Hero King. Yeah, I haven't read it myself, but it seems interesting. He basically is reborn. He wants to have like a better life or something like that. Let's see here. Yeah, so instead of being like the Hero King, he wants to be a warrior. So he basically gets his wish granted, and he becomes a warrior, a girl though. So yeah, it's another like reincarnated one, but we'll have to see how the story is like. I haven't read the manga, but it seems interesting. I might give the anime a try.
Okay, so it's another gender bend.
Yeah, it's a gender
One.
bend. Yeah.
We have quite a
couple
few
of them.
gender bends this season too.
We do. Yeah, we do. Okay, yeah. We have another one that I'm excited for. But yeah, this one I just haven't looked into, but it looked interesting enough that I might give the anime a try.
Okay, the next one, I'm definitely gonna watch this one.
Oh, yes.
It's called Tsundere Akayuku Reiju Lieselotte to Jiku no Endo-kun to Kaisetu no something. And it's Endo and Kobayashi live, the latest on Tsundere Villainess something. And the story itself, it's pretty wacky. It is about
yeah.
Endo-kun and Kobayashi-san. They're high school students. They're in the broadcasting club in their high school. And, you know, like the girl is really into otome games, like dating sims. And she's like telling this guy, hey, you should play this game because the story is super good. It has this many endings. I played all of them. I know all the ins and outs of this game. You should play it and I will start doing comments. And so he's like, okay, I will start because, you know, as you can guess, he has a crush on her.
Oh, okay.
So
of course he'll do it then. Yep.
So they start playing and she is explaining how there is the villainess. Her name is Lieselotte, and she's a complete tsundere. And she is the villainess because she is misunderstood.
Ah, yes.
And as they are, you know, commenting on the game, in-game, the prince suddenly is able to hear those comments, and he's like, are you the gods? And he's like, and they are like,
they're playing at the same time.
Yeah, because they're seeing like the text boxes, and he's like, "Oh, Kobayashi and Endo," and they're like, "What the heck is happening here?" He's like, "Oh, are you the gods? Yeah, I have the ability to listen to the gods. That's from my family." And they're so freaked out, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe we can do something." And so they're like, "Okay, listen, Prince. You know, Lieselotte, she doesn't hate you." Because you know, like his thoughts of like, oh, maybe she's my fiance and she hates me, and she's not the heroine. Like the main girl is like a commoner, you know.
Yeah.
That is very talented, and actually the main girl has to conquer the prince, and you know, bad things happen to the villainess.
Of course.
Most of the time, death.
Oh yes.
So they're like, no. Like, listen. This girl, Lieselotte, she loves you. She's a tsundere. And he's like, what the heck is a tsundere? Like, just look at her. And he's like, she's so cute. He's like, just look at her. Like, she goes all tsundere. Every time that she's just like yelling at you, that she's mad at you, that you think that she hates you, she's actually really worried for you and just wants to spend time with you. And so they're like trying to fix their relationship, and the story goes on how they are telling the prince like, hey, listen, dude, she's just been misunderstood. She just loves you really, really much. And it's a bit cringy, but the story has to develop in a way that Endo and Kobayashi want to find a different ending. One where all the characters are happy, because you know, like one of the endings is like the harem and the reverse harem. And Endo-kun is like, how is that a happy ending? They're gonna have to fight each other to the death or something. And
they're like explaining the endings to.
So he's like, no, a happy ending would be where the prince ends up with the villainess, the main girl ends up with one of the also side characters that dies in all the other endings. Sure. Yeah, it's a really wacky story. It's really fun.
That's very fun.
Okay, so this is the other gender bend one, Onichan wa Oshimai.
Oh my gosh.
I might end up I don't think. Maybe.
Okay.
If I don't have anything better to watch, I might watch it, but no. So the one that I was going to talk about is actually Tsurune. Tsunagari no Isha. It's the second season of Tsurune. This is traditional archery, Japanese archery. And the story is about this high school club and how one of the members, he used to be really good, but he got a phobia of missing the target. And it becomes a trauma for him. So throughout the first season, he's slowly, getting past this trauma. Yeah. And it's actually a pretty wholesome story. Oh, yeah. It has some drama, but overall it's just, them trying to win the nationals. Just standard sports club, anime plot. And I'll definitely watch it. The animation is... Excuse me. The animation is great.
Oh, yes. So, just like an honorable mention, this one is The Vampire Dies in No Time, Season 2. The first season, I did watch it. It is pretty wacky and kind of eccentric. Yeah. For anyone who likes that, it is another season for more of the same, basically.
Yeah. The vampire hunter, he looks like the I forgot the name of the anime. It's super famous.
He resembles another character.
Yeah. Okay, if Eddie Rami remembers it,
okay,
it's gonna be here.
Okay, sweet.
So yeah, he reminds me of that character. Even his way of acting, it's pretty similar to that one. Okay, the next one, it's a wacky one. I started reading a few chapters.
Me too. I like it. I kind of like it, actually. But it is also like, it is also...
So it's called Ayakashi Triangle. Mm-hmm. It's Matsuri Kasimaki and Susu Kanade. Mm-hmm. It's Matsuri, he is the boy, and Kanade, it's the girl.
At first.
For now.
Because reasons.
So it's a weird one because the Matsuri, he is a ninja exorcist. Talk about eccentric.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not a ninja, not an exorcist, both.
Both of that.
And Matsuri, she has a lot of kind of like life force, or at least that's what they call it. She is like
Suzu. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, Suzu. She is a maiden of light force, and this is a world filled with yokai. Yeah. And a lot of yokai get really close to her because she has a lot of kind of like life force or kind of like spiritual power within her. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, the yokai are, the small, friendly ones that gather around her.
Yeah, usually harmless.
But there are some other yokai that are really strong.
Yeah.
And that they love to eat people like that to gain more power. Mm-hmm. And in here, it's no different. There is the king of yokais, which is this little cat right here. I don't know if you guys can watch it. But yeah, that little yokai is apparently the king of yokai. Yeah. And at the beginning, they meet, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the king, so I will eat you." And as soon as he's gonna eat her, Matsuri arrives, rescues her, and he was about to seal him. Yeah. And so this is the wacky part because the guy is like, "Oh no, he's gonna save her." So she's going to fall in love even more with him and they're going to have a romance. I don't want that crap. So I'm going to use the last of my powers for him. And he ends up transforming Matsuri into a girl.
Somehow, the king of the yokai decides that's the perfect plan to keep their romance from progressing. And it's like, what? Seriously?
He's like, "You're super conservative, Mr. Yokai, but okay."
Yeah.
and so Matsuri turns into a girl.
Right.
And she becomes a tomboy because she has to learn now how to, act as a girl.
Right, yeah.
While they find a way to transfer him back. Yeah. And also, she or he, it's a she now. So
Matsuri,
Matsuri, she takes
she now.
this cat
Oh my
as
gosh.
a pet.
Oh my gosh.
And so she's always kind of like she's, I'm sorry. She takes the cat as a pet, and she's just constantly watching over him and the scroll that he used.
Yeah, to seal at least part of the power.
Most of his power,
Most.
And
actually.
all the shenanigans are, the cat trying to get the scroll back.
Yeah. And Matsuri trying to like
Matsuri is okay. He's like, well, if that's what it takes to protect Suzu, then I'll stay a girl.
Do it. Yeah, I'll stay a girl.
And Suzu is like, no.
yeah. Because so that's where like the conflict or kind of like the plot,
the Forbidden Realm.
Which
that reminds me of one episode from Love Live Superstar. Where they thought there were going to be some Yuri part, and she said there was like the Forbidden Realm.
The Forbidden. No. Right.
That's the new meme that I'm going to use for.
Oh yes, for this
Yuri action.
yeah. So Suzu has to like come to grips with it. There are a couple of other characters too, but yeah, it's just it's really cute. It's really funny, but yeah. I'll probably watch the anime. Pretty good manga.
Yeah.
The next one is Sakyo on Myoji no Isekai Tenseki, or the reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. So this one, it is a pretty cool isekai one. It is an isekai, so
it's a weird isekai. I started reading it too.
Yeah, it's a little bit unique, a little bit different than run of the mill isekai. But of course, he is kind of like OP. He does have powers that aren't quite the same as everybody else, since he is an exorcist in this fantasy magical world. It's not the same type of magic everybody else uses, but he can still use his exorcist powers, exorcism, and he uses like the little paper cutouts to do his powers and things like of that nature. So it's a pretty different isekai, but it still has like some of those same elements, and he also has like house conflict from his childhood in this new world. He brings along his maid, basically.
Yeah, some of his spirits.
And and also the spirits. Yes. So yeah, it is pretty cool in that regard, I would say. Like,
it's one of them. Like, I'm using just 10% of my power because
I'm in a new body and I'm not as strong.
Sure, Grandpa. Okay, let's get you to bed.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Check it out if you do like isekai and these types of stories. He was kind of like reincarnated from an old era of Japan, so that was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
since he died back then.
Yeah, and he was like the strongest, but he was betrayed, and
so that's kind of cool. Yeah,
it's an interesting one. This type of character, at least him, I like it because he is like this adult in a children's in child body.
Yeah. So
he is very methodical and he thinks like an adult always.
Yeah.
So it's not like, that obliviousness or just dance as a lot of other isekais that, when the fan service is coming, they're like, oh, why are you undressing yourself? And that dancing, he's like an adult. He's like, no, this is a crime.
Right. Oh yeah, he did. Oh my. Yeah. So yeah, pretty fun.
So it's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I might probably watch it. Okay. The next one, I think it's an original one. It is Ooyukiumi no Kaina, a world blanket in an endless and ever-growing ocean of snow. The people eke out a living, either huddle around the roots of enormous trees dotting the surface, or high in the canopy which spreads over the planet's atmosphere. A chance meeting between Kaina, a youth from the canopy, and Lilia, a young woman from the surface, sets a change of events that will change the fate of the world. Okay, I mean, the art design looks interesting.
It does. It looks like a blend between Blame and Land of the Lustrous, maybe?
Yeah,
Kind of like
it also looks like a bit CGI.
Oh, yeah, a bit CGI. But yeah, still...
I might probably check it out.
Yeah, probably. It does say mixed media for the source. So yeah, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
This next one, I am pretty excited for. I actually was reading the manga before the anime announcement was made. So this one is Menria Satao-san Isekai ni Iku, or I believe this is like the handyman in another world. So
Yeah.
pretty simple. He's literally just a handyman who's, I believe he's just like transported to this world. They kind of just jump right into their explorations in the dungeons in the manga, and I did go quite a bit in the story, so there is a little bit of development with like mages and old magic, things of that nature. But for like the setting though, there's this handyman who's in this party, and they're actually all pretty eccentric. The mage, the old guy, he's level 80, so he's really, really powerful. He's the strongest one of the group, but he forgets things. He always forgets things, so he's really kind of almost useless, but he is still useless, like useful. But nobody else wants him because he always forgets like the right spell in the right moment.
Right.
One time he like forgets to like join the party at the meetup time, so they're going through the dungeon, but he remembers, so he transports into the dungeon, but he transports into
it's at a golem,
wall,
right?
But it's a golem, yeah, a stone golem. So he's like really,
Or like one time that he's attacking his party with the undead, and like he even forgets he's alive, and like
he's alive.
these old men.
Yeah, but he's like, oh, they're nice people. So yeah, very, very funny.
Yeah, the fairy, she's a healer or something like that.
She is a
but
healer.
she charges every time that she does that.
Yeah. Yeah, every single time she heals someone, she says, pay up, basically. Oh, it's so great. And then the girl, the knight, she is kind of like more reserved. She's very, very strong, but she has kind of like a complex of showing her face, since she has a scar on her cheek from a goblin attack. But she likes to keep her helmet on most of the time. But yeah, she's pretty strong. And the whole point of the story, though, is that this handyman, he was brought to this world with all of his skills and knowledge of being like an electrician, a plumber, a locksmith, all of the above.
Yeah.
He can do everything. But since he was a jack of all trades of Earth, basically, Japan, nobody appreciated him. They always told him
you're replaceable.
You're replaceable. I could get anybody for this job. I don't need you specifically. And like $70, that's way too much for just changing a lock. Like, why do you charge so much? No one appreciates him.
Yeah.
But in this world, he's literally one of a kind in everything that
because he doesn't have magic, but
no magic, nothing.
He gets the job done. Oh boy,
I love it. Beautiful story. Highly recommended.
Okay, the next one is probably an honorable mention. It's Hyoken no Mayutsushi Gasekai wo Subaru, or the Ice Blade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World. I started reading this one, and it's just a power fantasy again of
Yeah.
the typical guy who doesn't have magic, but he's super OP.
Yeah.
And he has to, defend the school and avoid from people finding out that he's
That he is
a
the
monster,
ice blade.
literally.
Right. That he is the
In terms of
famous
power.
ice blade magician. Yeah.
So yeah, if you like your power fantasy, turning off your brain and just see mayhem,
Oh yeah.
just like go out there. It's like, this one's for you. The next one,
Ooh,
it's a really cliche one,
It is.
but
it is.
I like it.
Yes.
I read the first 30 chapters of the manga adaptation, and it's based off a light novel. A studio encouraged films. It's called Kaiko Sareta Ankoku Heishi Teridai no Slona Second Life, or the 30-year-old dark soldier second. I don't remember. Slow life, yeah.
Second, yeah.
And
Slow life.
and so this story, it's about a dark soldier, the real. He's 30 years old.
Yep.
I don't know why they wanted to emphasize that, but okay.
Middle-aged, I guess.
He is the assistant of the 4 heavenly kings for the demon lord. So one is the demon lord, then the heavenly kings, then everyone else, and he's the assistant of the heavenly kings.
Yeah.
And he is fired because he
Yeah.
is incompetent, apparently. And he doesn't have magic. And in this world, there are demons and humans. And demons, there are a lot of demons that have like human appearance.
Yeah.
The difference is that demons can wield magic.
That's right.
Humans can't. Humans have other skills,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily magic. So he gets kicked out because he doesn't have magic, and
Yeah.
he brings shame to the 4 heavenly kings. So he gets kicked out, and he's like, okay, what am I gonna do? And so while he's in the forest, he rescues this girl, which for me, she's the strongest character of the story.
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah. And yep.
And
It was quite a meeting too.
yeah. And
Just
so
lying on the ground.
I don't want to spoil it, but
No, no,
it
no.
just, this story is full of cliches, because it's like,
it is. Yeah.
this guy doesn't have magic, again, like your
Yep.
typical story, but turns
Yep.
out that he's super OP, because for the humans, they have kind of like
Yeah.
4 different skills,
Yeah.
which is like slasher, hammer, spike, and shield.
Yeah.
And people can only have like proficiency in one of those 4.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a chakra or
Yeah.
haki that they like can infuse that power to the weapon and make it stronger. And surprisingly enough, he has proficiency in all of them.
So, and this guy is like teaching him how to do it, and he just like obliterates every single test or whatever. Yeah.
So while he's building his new life, getting friends and whatever, and his relationship with the girl, that's something that I like. Is like he's an adult, so he is not your standard young dance or coward or
Yeah. Not that
because
either.
if he wants something, he goes for it. He is, like a pervert. I mean, not like in a bad way, but he's like, he sees her and he's like,
Right.
they look really good, and the girl is like blushing and she obliterates him. But he acts like it's full of a lot of cliche things, but again, it's cliche done right.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because it's great because there is things happening on the human side, but also on the demon side that's developing, and they're like realizing what he.
All the stuff that he did.
Yeah, what he actually did. Yeah,
he's like,
So it's
he
also
didn't have
similar to the
magic,
other-
but he was super good at moving people,
which is
and-
also really cliched, but it works for him because that's what the demon army didn't notice or appreciate for like the mining place especially. But yeah, pretty good story.
Yeah, so I like the story. I hope that if there's just one season, at least they cover the entire arc up until the time where he patches things up with his brother, because the one who fired him was his, you could say like his half brother, the Heavenly King of Fire.
Yeah.
So if they are able to adapt the anime up until the part where he patches things up, because that's where the first arc ends, it's gonna be great. If not,
yes.
I find it really hard to get invested into it, and at the same time, I find it really hard to having people invested and probably have a new season if they don't adapt the first arc. The second one, it's also a walking one. I started reading it too.
Yes.
It's saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement, or Rogu ni Sonaite Isekai the... I forgot how you say 8 in Japanese. I knew. Nana... Hachi
yeah.
Hachimanai no Kinka wo Tamemasu.
Yeah.
And this is an hybrid isekai.
Yeah.
Because the girl is able to transport, to go between Japan and this other world. So she has this OP ability from a god or an individual. At least in the manga, she calls her god. And she is an orphan. Her parents died in an accident, and so her otaku brother. And so she just wants to live a peaceful life. So she's like, oh, I'm going to start selling, some of the basic necessities in this other world. And I will just sell like something that it's like 100 yen, like $1. I'll sell it for 1 gold coin, which is like $100.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting story, but at the same time is, I was kind of like comparing it with the Realist Hero.
That one.
Because like the Realist Hero, he was or Moonlight Fantasy, where they're trying to bring some of modern Japan with like the food or the utensils or some of the commodities. She's trying to do that, but at the same time, it's like, okay, she's selling some like food or plastic stuff, and it's like, girl, you're doing this place worse, and at the same time, I mean, it shows that she clearly doesn't care about others, even though she says it. She's just looking out for herself.
Yes.
So as long as she's safe, it's like, I don't care about the rest. I just want to make the money. There are a few people that know that she can jump in between worlds, but that's not covered in the manga. It's covered on the light novel.
Okay.
So, I'm waiting to see how it develops, because
it could be.
Because it's an interesting one. She's overpowered. I mean, she's not overpowered, but she has a lot of influence on powerful people and influential people, which in a way makes her overpowered.
Right, exactly. So this next one, Ningen Fushi no Boukensha Tachi ga Sekai wo Tsukyu yo desu. This one is the disillusioned like adventure party will save the world, something like that. I'll have to pull it up if I want to remember the exact title, but it's basically these 4 individuals who are like betrayed from their previous parties or their previous lifestyles, and they hate humanity. They just are so disillusioned by like trusting others that they don't want to do anything to do with like trusting others ever again. But they perchance meet in a bar or like a tavern, and they suddenly say like, humanity could go die, or like I'll never trust humanity ever again. And it's like they're all at a table for some reason,
they're like,
but then they're like
spirits.
You too? No way. Right? So it's chance meeting. They do get together for their own reasons though. And Nick has this idea of let's split the things that usually drive parties apart or usually cause people to betray each other. Let's split those things up between ourselves to make sure we don't betray one another. So they give like the lockbox of the gold or like their money to the dragon. Let's see here. The dragon person, the girl.
The key to the guy at the bottom right, which is a priest.
Who's the priest? Or like, yeah, he is the priest.
Yeah, kind of like the overall numbers to the mage, and he's just like the one that's going to be the accountant.
The accountant, that's right. So he has to like track the money.
It's a interesting story because it's like, all of them have trust issues.
Yeah.
But there's no way they can't work things out if they don't trust each other.
Right.
Which,
so that's literally that.
It's an interesting plot. Because all of them, they have also the reason why they don't trust and how after being betrayed, they went to, bad habits.
Yes, and that's the other thing. They divulged themselves to the point where they couldn't continue living any longer. He like puts all his money towards an idol. Yeah, that part is so fascinating. In a fantasy world, you like never see that. In a fantasy, this type of world, because this one's pure fantasy, no isekai, no like sci-fi. It's just pure this. Yeah, the world of fantasy.
The dragon person.
Yeah.
She just loves to eat.
Yeah, and she's a glutton.
The mage, she is a former noble.
But she has a gambling problem.
And the other is a former priest.
Right, but...
Who has problems with girls, because he loves spending money in brothels and hostess bars. Yeah. Kind of like carnal pressures, unbecoming of a priest.
A priest, right. So
that's why he's former priest.
Right, yeah. So that's like so fascinating. Things happen, and their character development, I really, really like from what they experience, what they have to do.
Yeah, I've only read like the first 6 chapters of the manga or so. Okay. I'm not that far.
Okay,
but it's an interesting development.
It is, yeah. And they find the sword. It's pretty great. Highly recommended. Yeah.
The next one.
Ooh, yeah.
PA Works.
Oh, yes.
Body Daddies.
Yes. So
we got a glimpse already of what PA Works can do. Not only like tear-jerking stories.
Yeah.
but
so
also
many of them.
An anime version of Narcos with mates.
Yeah.
So I think this is no different. This might have a bit more of a wholesome side because I
think so too.
There's a girl.
Yes.
There's a little girl, and turns out that these two guys are like mercs or kind of like guns for hire.
Yeah.
And the girl, she is the daughter of kind of like a crime lord.
Oh, okay.
The crime lord, he is one of the bosses in one like a human trafficking network. So it's like pretty messed up stuff.
Is, man. Yeah. PA Works.
Yeah, so it's like, whoa, PA Works. It's like you went from that time that I became a god, super wholesome, to like, we're killing people every episode.
Yes, yeah. Oh gosh, the maid wars,
which is good. It's
buddy
like,
daddies. We'll see.
PA Works pretty versatile, and they show
that they are versatile.
They can do good stories.
Yeah, and they can
maybe not for everyone, but it's like they have good stories.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm waiting for this one.
Yeah,
after Akiba Maid Wars, the soft spot that I had for PA Works kind of hardened a little bit because I was expecting something a bit more wholesome, but it's
right.
still
But then,
I still like the story.
yeah, it's still a good story.
Yeah, I feel a little betrayed though, because I was like, I was hoping for a Tsurune story, not like freaking Narcos with maid costumes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm waiting for this one.
Yeah.
For Body Daddies, and the art itself looks really good. So okay, so just a few honorable mentions. The Legend of Heroes, Sen no Kiseki Northern War. That's based off a game. I really have nothing to say about this, but if it's based off a game, it must have quite an audience already.
Yeah, I actually did find a manga. I'm not sure how closely it follows the game, but yeah, it's like a nobility war type.
Yeah, it kind of seems a bit of, medieval times with some more a little contemporary European outfits.
Oh yes, yeah.
So,
in an academy. Yep.
Yeah, another one that I might think about checking out, it's Hikari no O. This is based off a novel, not a light novel. So it says Hikari no Ono takes place in the aftermath of humanity's last war. The world is enveloped with the black forest, and people have become infected with a pathogen that causes them to burst into flame in the presence of natural fire. The only safe source of fire can be obtained by hunting black beasts, flame spirits, which reside deep in the forest. Among the hunters, rumors of the King of Fire Hunters began spreading recently, an individual who would be able to harvest the man-made star, the Millennium Comet that once wandered the world. The story revolves around Taoko, a village-raised girl, and Koshi, a former student in the capital. The encounter between the two, who were not supposed to cross paths, will change the fate of the world. Why always change the fate of the world? Just focus on a city. It's always the world.
The fate of the world.
But you know, it kind of seems a bit like ancient Japan style, kind of like the Edo period.
Oh yes, it does seem like that. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested to see this one.
Same. Ooh, this next one, it is pretty exciting. It is called Revenger. It is an original anime, studio unknown so far. So I am actually, I haven't actually looked into it. So I would have not. I would have no idea who's making it, but it does say an original, and it is samurai. I could go ahead and read it real quick. As Master Assassin Yusui Yuen looks into a series of assassinations made on the Grand Samurai clan, the Satsuma, he encounters Kuruma Raizo, member and survivor of one of the attacks. Together, they discover the true nature of these murders is bigger than overstolen resources. As they get closer to the truth, will they come out alive to exact revenge? Yeah. It's a pretty cut and dry story about samurai taking revenge. Pretty exciting.
Another honorable mention would be Mayutsushi Orphan, Hagure Tabi, Urbarama Hen, and this is the third season of the reboot of Orphan. I'm not caught up with this one. Have you watched it?
I've watched a bit of the first season. Okay. So yeah, same. Not caught up.
Yeah, I need to watch. It's on my list.
Yeah.
But I need to be in the mood.
Oh yes. Oh yes, yeah.
Another honorable mention is Nijiyon Animation, and this is a series of short stories from Love Live Nijikasaki.
Yeah.
So kind of like the chibi versions. Probably we won't have songs.
Probably just like gags or one-offs.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I didn't have time to check this one, but it's a girl sports. You know, I'm really picky with girl sports because.
Yes.
Because a lot of times they just want to push the fan service, and I just don't like that. It's like, if you want to throw fan service, it's fine.
Yeah, but for sports,
but focus on the story. And the other thing is that it's always school based, and I'm still complaining about how Birdie Wing had everything to be the best women's sport anime, and they then turn it into a school sports,
right?
Where you had to be in the freaking golf club of a golf school to play golf, and it's like
Birdie Wing.
But
some strange.
I mean, there's a second season coming, and we'll talk about it. But this one, after performing in their final middle school judo tournament, Michi and Sanae being high school and walk in on Michi's final opponent, fighting to save their new high school judo club. I didn't understand that. My English is bad, probably. But this seems like a judo girls sport.
Yeah.
So
sounds like they have to like save the judo club from disbanding and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully it does have a good story. Cross fingers.
Yeah.
For sports.
Yeah.
And then
a few more honorable mentions just to
wrap
finish up and to wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's second season of The Way of the House Husband.
Yeah.
Fifth season of Agretsuko. That one is super wacky. The second season of Wrecker of Ragnarok.
Oh,
It's been 2 years in the first season.
Yes, and the first season was really hype, so it's gonna be big, I think.
Yeah, and Make My Day. It's another Netflix one. Again, another eccentric one.
It
seems to me.
It's a couple of movies.
And yeah, I read this movie, Blue Giant.
Oh yeah?
Seems like it's a sport/music one about a basketball player that he suddenly falls in love with the sax.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like his journey towards becoming a sax player or something like that. So it seems promising, but again, it will probably be available to us 2 years from now.
Yes. As
1 or 2
movies
years
go.
from now.
Yep.
Oh boy, but yeah, that's it. There are a few other, episodes and OVAs.
Oh, absolutely.
And at the moment of recording, not all the animes might be there yet.
Yeah, we still have quite a ways to go. So there may be some surprise announcements.
Yeah. So, please let us know which ones you're watching. How do you think that our taste in anime is? Personally, I think it's godly, but...
Oh, sure. Godly.
But yeah, thanks for watching episode 72. And as always, we will be talking about more anime next week.
We will share the hype with others for these upcoming anime.
Yep.
Till then.
Keep watching anime.